But we'll go ahead. We'll kick it off. The first of the conference championship games. We are recording this Friday night, starting at 6:55. 5 minutes from now is kickoff of Oregon Washington round two. I'll go ahead and hit on it. I think Oregon should be a playoff team. I think they're one of the four best teams in the country. Bo Nix and the boys are rolling. That defense is ferocious. Troy Franklin, Bucky Irving, those guys are flying. They're scoring all kinds of points. Arguably should have beat Washington, but they did beat themselves. I wouldn't say they beat themselves. Washington beat them, but few miscues, first and goal inside the 10 twice in Washington territory, didn't score 0 points, right? So,
well, in a way they did kind of, they didn't beat themselves like you said, but like
they didn't beat themselves, but they didn't help themselves.
The field goal that they tried to attempt at the end of the game kind of hurt them in the foot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like whenever they were driving down the field and when Dan Lanning made the decisions that he did at the final drive to kick it for the field goal, like that's the first thing going through my mind is, this is
it's almost like
this is not going to end up being good.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea.
Well, it was in a way kind of the right move. I don't know. I'm not a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're playing for the tie because at this point you don't know if you're gonna score the touchdown, so you're trying to at least get it into overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? Yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20. But anyways, I would have predicted it weeks ago. I don't remember if that was pre or post the beginning of the podcast. But, however, I do think Oregon wins this game. They are favored by 9.5, a lot larger spread than I would expect. I think they're very comparable teams. Washington, people say, have been struggling to get by last few weeks. Hey, they're still fucking winning football games.
Yeah, it almost seems kind of disrespectful to Washington because they're undefeated.
It does. It does seem disrespectful, but at the same time, gonna win, and that's what they've been doing. And
I think maybe the spread is too big at this point.
I think it is.
I think it's going to be one of those that's too big, and so Washington's going to come out and win the game because that's how college football works.
Oh, yeah? You think so? Is that who you're picking? You picking Washington?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the
the story.
That's just you can't tell the story of college football without telling the story of Oregon being favored by too much against Washington.
Yeah, no, literally. I do think Oregon wins though. I'm really excited. I think this should be a great, fantastic game. This might end up, outside of Georgia, Bama, this will probably be the game of the weekend. And it could even be better than that. But I'm super excited to watch this one. We'll kind of be watching it while we're recording here. But
yeah, I've already got it up. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm watching the end of Wheel of Fortune. So, but who do you think? Who do you think is gonna win? Like I said, I got Oregon.
Are we gonna get peak Bo Nix? Because if he wins this game, does he? Well, let me ask this before we get into the game. If Bo Nix and the Ducks win the game, does he shoot himself in first in the Heisman voting, or is it still?
I think he's already in first. Jaden Daniels, right?
It should be Jaden Daniels.
It should be, but I think people are going to look at the fact that LSU's lost 3 games and judge that way too harshly on him. I sent you the stats the other day. He's second in the SEC in rushing yards.
Yeah.
And he's a quarterback.
It's all running backs, and it's just Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, exactly.
He has arguably the best Heisman stats of any Heisman winner except for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, no, exactly. And he's competing with Joe Burrow, stats-wise. You know what I mean? It's insane. I think Jaden Daniels should win the Heisman. That would be my Heisman pick, would be Jaden Daniels. But I think they're going to look at what Bo Nix has done.
Yeah.
And what the team has done and give it to him because he has been Heisman worthy. Michael Penix, I feel like, has fell off a little bit. I think it's a 2-man race. I think it's Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix.
It's kind of like the year when Baker won it. You look at his stats compared to Lamar Jackson's, and they were kind of right there. But because Lamar Jackson won it previously, and you saw the success that Oklahoma was having, it was clear Baker was going to win the Heisman. So I would base it off of what does this LSU team look like without Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
Look how much he's meant to the team. Look how well he's been playing.
Yeah. Well, you can make that argument for a lot of the players, right? But
Oregon's stacked, dude. They've got a lot of talent.
Stacked. You could make that for people have said Ollie Gordon should be there, which I wouldn't necessarily hate, but I don't think Oklahoma State has had the season. Now they're in a conference championship. Yes, we know they'll probably get slaughtered tomorrow morning, but who knows? Texas has been prone to lose to Oklahoma State, just like they've been prone to lose to Oklahoma. But
you got Oregon.
I do have Oregon. I do have Oregon.
I think it's a fair pick. Now, do you predict that they're going to cover the 9.5 spread?
See, that's the tough part. Is I could totally see them covering, but I could also totally see it being like a one possession game. Okay, and I think it ends as a one possession game. But I like I said, I'm taking Oregon, but I will take Washington to cover. I definitely think Washington should cover.
Okay. I don't know. I think Washington might win.
Undefeated.
They've been yeah. I mean, we've been kind of disrespecting them a little bit just because of how they've played in terms of performance. I think Oregon's a better team. Yeah. And Oregon, if them being the better team and possibly having a better coach, I don't know. Like,
hey, Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a coach, man.
Yeah.
But so is Dan Lanning.
Yeah, they're both incredible coaches. They both got really good quarterbacks. I think I trust Michael Penix in the receiving core more than I do just Bo Nix and Troy Franklin, you know?
That's fair.
But Oregon is a better team, and like they've been playing better football.
Their defense is a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot more consistent.
Yeah. They've played really good since the loss.
Washington's defense, I saw a stat there, their defense is on fourth down, they're 13 for 31.
Yeah.
Teams are 13 and 31 against Washington's defense on third down, or fourth down. So it's not like they're bad. They're opportunistic, but they're not like top. They're not upper echelon. Yeah. And Oregon's closer to upper echelon on defense. I think Oregon, if they win this game, which I do think they will, I think their defense is going to make a couple of big plays.
Yeah, a couple interceptions, maybe a pick six.
Maybe. Now, I'm not one to predict turnovers. I'm not always one to predict turnovers unless it's Quinn Ewers. But I do think that maybe not necessarily pick sixes or interceptions, but game-changing plays, like a great tackle in open space. Maybe punching the ball out, they lose a few yards. Maybe a timely sack. Stuff like that.
Goal line stand.
Maybe a goal line. They're not Oklahoma. They're not Oklahoma, but
well, they did have one the first time they played.
They did
in Seattle. So it's on ESPN. Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler are going to be calling the game. I won't have the sound on just so it doesn't interrupt us, but I will be watching the game. But anyway, it's going to be a good game. You want to go to the next game? Speaking of slaughters.
Yeah. This one shouldn't be close. Oklahoma State, Texas, in Arlington, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, I believe on ABC, something like that. Texas should roll, man. They're favored by 14 and a half.
15
it shouldn't be close. 15. Yeah, see, exactly. And this game shouldn't be close. I wouldn't expect it to be close at all.
Also,
but you never know.
Yeah. Also, there was a video that was posted of a Longhorn being slaughtered and was put on a Oklahoma State fraternity house.
I did see that on their farmhouse.
So it had engraved "fuck FH," which stands for farmhouse. Yeah, yes. It was set on one of the front yards of the fraternity houses. You get a little far into the story, and apparently there's the mass consensus speculation that was it was like a fraternity beef apparently within Oklahoma State. The Texas fan base and the Longhorn faithful have brought it upon themselves to say that it was about Texas. They have made it a case to where it's like the meme you see of like fucking I can't even think of the name from Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Mr. White.
Eisenberg.
Yeah. So it's like the meme where it's like, this is about me. That's what Texas and the Texas faithful have done. So now it's not only going to be a slaughter of a Longhorn on Oklahoma State's territory. I agree with you. I think Texas they should win this game pretty convincingly.
But then again, that's been Texas's MO. When they should win and they should blow teams out.
Well, it's red zone opportunities.
Yep. That's the same thing that killed them against OU. And it's insane for their defense or their offense to be as productive as they are, but be so bad inside the red zone. And I think I don't know if it's scheme wise. I don't know if it's Quinn Ewers. I don't know if the receivers are too fast and can't necessarily find space the right way, but it's a weird
Are the receivers too good to be?
I mean, like, not necessarily they're too good, but like, are they? not inept enough to be able to sit down in space. Because a lot of red zone scoring, defensive and offensively, comes down to maximizing or minimizing space.
Yeah, that's true.
And
It gets a lot
so,
tighter in the red zone too. You got to be a lot more accurate.
yeah, exactly, the ball has to get there a lot quicker. That's why
That's why I
I
love
think
Dylan
it's
Gabriel.
yeah, exactly. And I almost feel like it might be a Quinn Ewers thing because when it gets buttoned down like that and they're in the red zone, it's like he can't get it through the windows he has to get it through.
That's
And
been the story of Quinn Ewers this season, though. Like
mhm,
he's had some games where it's like that's why he was the most
like
highly
Texas Tech.
touted. Yeah, like that's why he was the most highly touted quarterback in that 2021 class. Like
Mhm.
now, like you've seen flashes where you're like, okay, that's an NFL throw, and then you've seen some where you're like, oh, what was he doing there?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing is what Texas or what Quinn Ewers are we going to get? Texas's defense, I have all the faith in the world in.
Yeah, their defense is solid. Ryan Watts is
Now,
playing good. Devondre Sweat's playing good.
do you think they can shut down Ollie Gordon?
Yes.
You think so?
Oklahoma State's offensive line's below average.
Yeah.
Ollie
No, for
Gordon's
sure.
just like he's just such a good running back that he finds open holes. That's gonna be hard to do because they're like Texas is
Because
peaking.
Devondre Sweat's fucking 500 pounds.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they've got other guys. They got Byron Murphy, Alfred Collins. Ethan Burke's playing, but I mean, he's
Yeah.
playing better. Sorrell's playing better. I don't know. It could be one of those weird days though where it goes into overtime for some reason. What kind of
Yeah.
scenario would we be looking at if it's a dogfight in that game? So if it's a dogfight, Oregon wins. Let's say Alabama wins convincingly against Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Florida State loses, which they should because apparently Boilermaker is not going to be in the game. That's
Oh
their
shit.
yeah. Apparently he's out.
You see, and that's the thing. I don't know, man, because I feel like if
What's going to piss everybody off? Put Texas and Oregon in. Put Michigan and let's see.
what would piss off the committee is if Florida State wins, because I don't think they want Florida State in.
What's gonna not putting the SEC in is gonna piss everybody off. So I'm just gonna say uh,
Yeah,
Michigan, Oregon, Texas, and I'm just gonna throw Ohio State in there. There, we pissed off everybody.
you said Michigan, Oregon, Texas, and Ohio State.
Yeah,
Oh my god, dude,
that's
that
gonna
would
piss
be
everybody
utter
off. So
fucking chaos. Oh god, I'm almost pissed. I don't know. I just think. Look,
I'm all about the
obviously,
chaos. Sign me up.
do you think if Texas wins and Alabama wins, do you think there's a world where they put Alabama in over Texas? They can't, right?
Oh, because of the head-to-head.
Yeah.
Who do you
But
think? Who do you think would win now? Like if you're predicting a match on a neutral field, Texas versus Alabama tomorrow, who do you think wins?
that's a tough one, man. I
Even
don't
if it's
know
like a dogfight, who do you think comes out
the way
victorious?
Alabama's been playing. Yeah, they had a tough game last week against Auburn, but that's rivalry
That's
week, right?
rivalry. That doesn't matter.
And yeah, exactly. I would almost lean Alabama, but the only thing is like Texas shuts down the one thing that they're like. Well, I wouldn't even say that because Texas's secondary isn't that great. Alabama's really prone to throwing the ball deep. Texas is prone to getting beat deep. Alabama has no run game outside of Jalen Milroe, so it's like,
No, that's the thing. He's a threat with his legs.
yeah, but I don't know that that's enough to stop. Like Texas can still stop that though. You know what I mean? But they can stop a traditional run game, but can they stop the quarterback run? Dylan ran it all the fuck over him.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like I would think that the OU Texas game stands out because although OU isn't a super down the field passing attack like Alabama has to be with Jalen Milroe, they can be a lot more methodical. The quarterback run game between Oklahoma and Alabama, or the quarterback run game for Oklahoma is the closest thing Texas will have seen to when they played Alabama earlier.
Yeah.
Outside, Dylan Gabriel's definitely not as fast or as athletic as Jalen Milroe is, but he's the closest thing to.
He's a better thrower of the football.
He is a much better thrower of the football, much more accurate with the ball in his hands.
That's the thing. They're going to have to take advantage of downfield passing, or maybe Texas is prepared for that. So
I like how we just completely got off the fucking conference championship.
Well, no, but, I mean, like we I don't know. I have a feeling that, I mean, it'll
chaos ensues this weekend, though. You'd have to agree, right? I think, honestly, and this might be, 100% sign me up. This might be conspiracy theorist. I think if all the projected teams win, I think chaos still ensues. Because if Florida State wins, the committee doesn't want to put them in, but they're going to have to.
If they blow out Louisville, then I think they'll put them in. It's like the Ohio State thing. They won 59-0.
Yeah. I think if they win, they're in, no matter how they win.
I just don't know if they have the team that Ohio State had, because Ohio State was playing really good.
No, they certainly don't. Jordan Travis, Jesus Christ, was so much of their team. So much of it. But here's the thing is, like, okay, we have undefeated Georgia. We have undefeated Florida State. We have one loss Oregon, one loss Texas, undefeated Michigan. Does Oregon or Texas get left out? The committee has ranked Oregon consistently ahead of Texas. So do they think that Oregon's a better team than Texas? And then with that win, with Oregon's win over Washington, avenging their only loss, is that better than Texas's win over a 2-loss Alabama? I would think so, right? You'd think Oregon would be in that scenario.
I would think so. The only thing, Texas has the trump card. They can say, well, look at how we beat the fuck out of Tech and you only won, by 8 points. But it's like, that's the beginning of the season. Teams can get better.
Yeah, exactly. Teams get better and teams get worse.
Look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma was so good at the beginning of the season. And then injuries.
We can argue that OU never played complimentary football the entire season, though, right?
Yeah.
Outside of the Texas game. Like, that's been the biggest issue since BV's been there. And I don't think it's his fault. That's just been the main issue that's been killing the team. It's just, and I think
he's figuring out how to win.
That. I think it's partially how quick the offense goes. You can't play complimentary football with a team that can get on and off the field in 30 seconds.
True. Well, I mean, I like tempo offense. Just, you got to
not
simmer down a little bit.
Yeah. You got to know when to take the pot off the fucking stove.
Yeah.
And let it simmer instead of boil. But, I mean, we're in agreement, right? So, yeah. Never. All right.
Tommy DeVito's dad will never put that cigar out.
I want some cigars, man. I love smoking cigars. I think we are in agreement, though. Texas wins this game tomorrow,
right? Yeah. I mean, it could be a weird day.
Do you think they cover?
15?
Yeah.
I would think so.
That's where
it just depends on what Texas team are we going to get. Are we going to get a fired up, Texas team that hasn't won a Big 12 championship since I was, shitting my pants? And
you were shitting your pants at 11 years old?
That was the last time they
won it in 2009.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It tells a lot about you, man.
I may have sharded a few times.
I mean, I was shitting my pants when I was 8, but,
Damn, I didn't realize. I thought it was a lot longer than that. 2009.
Remember, that's when they went to the national championship game. And Colt McCoy got hurt.
Yeah, you're right. And they lost to Bama. Okay.
Because that was the year after.
It's coming together. The gears are turning.
That was the year after OU went to the national championship game. Sam Bradford got hurt twice. Landry Jones came in. We went like 9-3, 8-5, something like that. 9-4, 8-5, something like that.
I would assume that Sark's going to have this team playing with their hair on fire. So
you would think so, but then again, when Texas plays with their hair on fire,
they usually do pretty well. At least this season.
That is true. This season of Texas has been very different from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like the K-State game, the TCU game, the fucking whoever else they play, Houston,
Kansas.
Texas falls apart in those games in the past. They don't rebound and win. So that's one testament to Sark. I think Sark's a fantastic coach.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
He has. But moving on to the next game, we have the ACC title game. I believe that one is also at 4:00 on the CW. No, I'm playing. That's been such a fucking stupid thing. But we have.
Marshall's gonna have the Arizona Bowl on the CW.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh no, that game's at 7. So the next game of the Power Five at least. I'm excited for SMU Tulane. I think it's going to be badass. The next Power Five game, what many are saying is a national championship game. I don't think it is. I think Bama could easily lose to teams like Oregon or Washington,
Is it
or
possible game of
Michigan.
the year?
I think it certainly could be. I 100% think it could be. This game, I'm so amped up for this one, dude. Georgia and Alabama, man. I can't wait. It's the last SEC game on CBS for
Oh,
the
is
time
it?
being.
Yeah, you're right, because it's going to Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's so
man,
weird.
it's gonna be weird to hear the CBS mantra and then see fucking
Michigan and Maryland.
Iowa, Nebraska,
I know.
fucking Jesus Christ. But Georgia's favored by 5 right now. I think Georgia wins. I
By
don't
how
think they
much?
cover. I don't think they cover, but I think Georgia wins.
Yeah. It's Nick Saban, though.
It is Nick Saban. USC is finalizing a deal to hire UCLA defensive coordinator D'Anton Lynn to their defensive coordinator position.
He's a good defensive coordinator.
He is. He is.
NFL guy.
But how do you see this Georgia-Alabama game going? I think, look, Georgia's been kind of slow starting in some games. You see, like Auburn got up on them. Tennessee, first play of the game, got up on them, and then they just wear on you and weigh on you and weigh on you, and then you look up and they're up 30.
Yeah, but Bama's like the one team that can get on Georgia, though.
They're built to beat each other.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like, that's what Kirby Smart's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like going in and out of this game.
I am too.
But it's Nick Saban. Like, I don't know. This is going to be such a good game because
Nick Saban's a big game coach if there's ever a big game coach, man.
I think the threat of Milroe's legs is going to be a problem for Georgia. And this is probably the best team that Georgia's faced so far. It absolutely is the best team that they've faced this season.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm interested to see if they're going to use Milroe in the running game a little bit.
I would assume so because I don't know. Now, Georgia's been weaker on defense. I'm not going to say weak, but weaker than they have been in the past.
Yeah, a lot of guys been drafted.
Yeah, which is it's expected, right? That happens. But I think it's going to have to be a hell of a game plan from Tommy Rees.
Yeah.
To beat them.
Alabama's going to have to score in the red zone.
Yes.
Like if you want to establish a drive, if you want to say like, hey, we can pound it down your throat, you need a 10-play drive.
Yeah.
And just score like 6 points, not 3, because Georgia can score.
Yeah, you're gonna have to score touchdowns to beat Georgia. And Carson Beck, man, this will be the game. Well. He is playing really well. He hasn't had to deal with a lot of pressure though.
Yeah,
Alabama's going to put some pressure on him.
This is going to be the best pass rush they've faced. For sure.
Now, their offensive line is really good, but again, they haven't faced a pass rush. I mean, Dallas Turner alone. And they got dudes on that team, and that secondary is playing really well. So Carson Beck is going to have to be really decisive, and he's going to have to make the throws that he's going to have to play to what's there. Because Alabama's going to try to trick you and try to bait you into doing some stuff, especially being a young freshman quarterback. Redshirt freshman, I believe. But either way, like he's gonna have to take what's given to him. If that means he's got 33 attempts and maybe like 22 completions or something like that, and his average yards per pass is like 8. Like he's gonna have to, you know what I mean? He's gonna have to take the plays in the flat. He's gonna have to take the dump offs. He's gonna have to take the check downs. Like he's not gonna be able to get it all the time. Now Brock Bowers is his biggest matchup problem.
Well, yeah, I was going to get into
anybody.
that. So, Bama, their defense has not faced a dude like Ladd McConkey or Brock Bowers at the season, so they're going to have to deal with that. But is this a game where if Carson Beck doesn't play well, we get a Brock Vandergift?
I don't think so. I don't even think we see a clip of him on the sidelines. Remember how bad OU fans or how mad OU fans were when he decommitted? Then we got Caleb Williams. Everyone was like, okay. So,
is he going to transfer?
I don't know. I thought he would have transferred last year, but you never know. I have to bring it up every time. Carson Beck is one ugly motherfucker, man.
Dude,
He's a good quarterback.
But he's a good quarterback. Yeah,
He's a very good quarterback. But he is.
Don't judge a man by how he looks, but how he plays.
It's fair.
So he is that dude.
He is that dude.
Washington is driving down the field.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're just chipping away.
See, this is what I mean. Like Roma Dunze, McMillan, Polk.
Hey, Washington's got 3-4 NFL guys in that wide receiver room right now. Like and
an NFL quarterback.
And an NFL quarterback. How high do you think Michael Penix goes? First round, second round? Third?
There's going to be a team that needs a quarterback, and if he's available, I think somebody takes him. Maybe late first round.
Like Atlanta,
maybe. If there's if they don't trade for a quarterback, then I bet they take Michael Penix.
I can see him going there. I could also see JJ McCarthy going there, someone like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know I can't wait to start breaking down film. Start doing mock drafts that matter to nobody. But yeah, no. Who do you think wins though? I still think Georgia wins. I think they're too good a team, and I think they're playing too sound of football. I know it's Nick Saban. I know.
Yeah, Alabama I know that's like the
typically wins this games. It's hard to pick against Nick Saban, but if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be Kirby Smart's Georgia that I pick.
Yeah. Oh, we almost threw a pick. Kirby Smart's like the one coach that's very good at game planning. So
again, Kirby's only 1-4 against Saban. Yeah,
he won one game,
which is insane to think about, and how people are talking about Georgia. But
you see they haven't been beaten yet, and since the SEC championship of 2021 was the last time they were beaten.
When Alabama beat them.
Yeah. So if there's going to be a team that does it, it's probably Bama.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
do you think if Georgia wins this game and gets in, do you think there's anybody that be in the playoff that can beat them, or do you think it's just Georgia's to win?
Yeah, good question.
I think tomorrow's game will go a long way in telling us that.
Georgia as a team, like everybody keeps saying, like this isn't the same team, but they keep winning games and they keep blowing out opponents, and they're still good. They're still very good. I mean, Kirby Smart's recruited at an incredible pace. Since he's gotten to Georgia.
Yeah.
If there's any team that could put up a fight, I would say probably Michigan, especially having Jim Harbaugh back on the sidelines and coaching. I think that's a good advantage.
And a full month to prepare.
Yeah.
But then again, Georgia also is given a full month to prepare.
Yeah.
Or
I think is a talent
unless they get each other in the national championship game, they only have a week.
There's a talent disparity between the two programs. Like I think Georgia's a lot more talented. Like they got better athletes on the field, or at least more talented athletes. But Jim Harbaugh's a good coach.
Jim Harbaugh is a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
Sean Moore is a hell of a coach too.
I think Michigan. Maybe Oregon.
I could see Michigan. I don't know. That's what's hard is it's like, man, like who beats Georgia outside of Bama? And if Bama wins, then neither team gets in.
I can see it being a dogfight with Washington just because of their passing attack.
Yeah. That is
true. Their passing attack, I think, with Michael Penix and
whether it's a quick game or it's downfield. Yeah.
Maybe they go high tempo. There's a lot of teams that could put up a fight against Georgia, but we come back to the same thing every time. Georgia probably beats everybody in the country except for Bama. Texas has a lot of talented dudes. I mean, they're built big up front. Just their offensive line wouldn't be able to handle Georgia's rush.
I don't think their offensive line would be able to handle, but their defensive line could certainly stop the game for Georgia. Like they could cause real issues.
Yeah.
Their linebacking core is where I think Georgia would be able to attack them and just pick them apart, especially with Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers against Anthony Hill Jr.
Yeah. Over. I mean, that's a mismatch.
Any safety mismatch. So, but again, Brock Bowers is a mismatch for anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody, bro. Maybe. I don't even know. I don't even know who in the NFL could guard Brock Bowers right now. Best realistically, stay on. Keep him contained. You know what I mean? Not even Sauce. He's too big for Sauce.
Yeah. We'll see.
Billy Bowman.
But yeah, Georgia Alabama is going to be a fantastic game.
I can't wait.
I might take Alabama to cover.
Yeah. I could see that. That's probably the way I'd roll. But so I think we're both kind of in agreements. Georgia wins, Alabama covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next
I
game
guess
here.
we'll see.
Well, we'll see. I'm not putting money on none of these fucking games, by the way. Probably not bet anything on broker pussy. Next game. First of all, before we even get into this one, did you see what some places were offering for first half points for Iowa?
Yeah, like
half a point.
0.5, yeah. Oh.
Literally betting us to whether or not you think Iowa will score.
Maybe on defense.
You know what's crazy? Iowa could lose this game.
Well,
Not even
on,
score.
Jake
Hold
McNamara, he's
Iowa could not even score in this game and still cover. That's how good their defense is.
Yeah.
They could lose 21-0 and still cover. They could lose 22-0 and still cover. Spread's 22, by the way. Washington's almost in the red zone. Oh, man. But Michigan favored by 22 points. They blow Iowa out, right? Do they score enough? But I don't even think it matters if they could probably score 10 points and win this game by 10.
I think what Iowa needs to do is they need to hire Connor Stallions and steal the signs of Michigan.
Think so?
Yeah. Well, they've already got it. They had a former Michigan QB.
Yeah.
They got McNamara out there. He might be able to score a touchdown. Maybe he picks them apart. You know, we never know.
We never know.
But this Michigan team, JJ McCarthy, I mean, he's gonna score some points.
Lane Corum and Donovan Edwards are running the ball down everyone's throat.
It's crazy. That's all that Michigan needed was a quarterback. Like over these years, you remember all the quarterbacks they've had? Remember Shea Patterson?
Remember when everyone thought he was a savior after he came from Ole Miss too?
Yeah.
Remember Denard Robinson?
Denard Robinson? Yeah.
Denard Robinson? Yeah. First down Washington in the red zone, man.
Did you see their quarterback, Orgy?
Their quarterback, Orgy?
Yeah, Michigan's quarterback.
No, I did not.
Orgy. He ran a play. It was like out the gate in the second half when Michigan got the ball. They did like a QB run. He's huge.
Ooh.
So maybe apparently he was a quarterback. Apparently he was a quarterback.
Imagine they get him and General Booty in the backfield. A Booty Orgy.
So are you saying Booty transfers?
I don't think so.
That'd break my heart.
It would break my heart. I couldn't live with myself if that happened.
What's the next game after that? We don't need to talk about Michigan.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Michigan. Louisville and Florida State. Apparently, the weather in this game is supposed to be completely horrendous.
Like rain, snow.
Yeah, rain,
tornado,
they're
tsunami.
In probably all the above. They're in Charlotte playing at Bank of America Stadium. But apparently it's supposed to be pretty bad weather, like rain and stuff. But
so no over.
I wouldn't take the over anyways. Florida State's favored by 1.5.
What if their third string quarterback is just
the next? Yeah, because Tate Widemaker's not supposed to play, is he?
Yeah, apparently he was concussed.
Apparently?
Yeah, he got smacked pretty hard. I think you throw Jordan Travis out there because I think Jordan Travis on one leg is still probably better than anything else they have.
I think Jordan Travis with no legs.
Put him out there on one of those like one-legged scooters that they ride out on.
Yeah.
So just, whenever and put him in a position to where it's like a punter's formation, like where he's just so far back. Have a long snapper snap it to him. He could throw far.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it'll be fun. I think that might be their path to the national championship right there.
Yeah.
No, but for real though, I think look, Louisville just came off not bad, dude. Louisville's coming off a loss to Kentucky, a bad loss for them, right? They felt probably if they win that game and are a one-loss team, they may have a very, very outside shot at the playoff. Now it's dead in the water, right? But you look at Louisville coming off a bad loss. Their offense still performed pretty well. Look, Jake Plummer's been a hell of a quarterback. Jeff Brom's a hell of a coach. Louisville's got some dudes on that fucking team.
Yeah, we forget that he was like a highly rated like transfer quarterback.
Yeah, he was one of the top ones. He might be the best transfer quarterback from this past season.
Maybe.
I don't know who else you'd argue.
I almost said Caleb Williams. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't. I just.
I mean,
this game if Florida State's on the third string.
That's the thing is, unless their third string is like their next starter, like he's that good, then I don't know if Florida State's going to win.
No.
That's tough because they've got a team that can compete for a title, like a
You
national
think so?
title. Yeah, I think they do. Like in terms of like the talent that they
Especially with
have.
Jordan Travis.
Yeah. And touchdown. Nope, dropped.
Ah.
Louisville should win the game,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
which obviously we take them to cover. See, but this is the
What's the
crazy thing. All
scenario if
signs point this way.
Yeah, I know. What's the scenario if Florida State does win this game? They're undefeated. They're
They
not one of the
have to
best.
be in.
Yeah, they've earned their way in. Games have to matter.
Yeah. On-field results have to matter. You can't just take the odds, the power rankings or whatever. That's not football.
This is where like a 12-team playoff does like help. Like this
There is
season.
benefit in that. Yeah, I will give you that. Like I said, I'm not a huge proponent of expanded playoffs. I think 12. I think 4 is fine because I like keeping. I want every single game to matter.
But there's I don't know. Maybe 8. Maybe 8
Maybe.
at the most. Some teams
Yeah.
like that are really good and that are peaking that just had like a really bad loss. It was a bad day. That still have a really good team that can make it interesting. Like deserve to be in.
I
Because
could
like
see like
if
Oklahoma would have fun. I'd have fun with Oklahoma in the playoff this year.
yeah, like Florida State, if they win, they deserve to be in, but are they going to be able to compete with?
Now they'll get the fuck kicked out of them,
Yeah,
but they
I mean,
still
put them
deserve to
in.
be there.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. That's
Cincinnati
why.
didn't. Cincinnati wasn't one of the best teams, and they made it. When OU played LSU, they were not one of the 4 best teams in the country.
No, they weren't. Even when they went and played Alabama,
Even when they
and
went and played Clemson.
yeah,
God, this is just sad now.
well,
They were when
actually,
they fucking should have
yeah,
beat
that
Georgia.
that 2015 team was pretty good,
That 2015 team was. No, they
but
definitely.
I think that's where like an expanded playoff does help.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Like if you're Florida
Plus,
State,
everyone loves the Cinderella story. If someone happens to make it, like you throw Tulane in there. Tulane beats Georgia. Imagine, how
mm,
fucking crazy that'd be.
yeah, too bad they're not keeping Michael Pratt. He's going to the draft.
Imagine Tulane and Liberty on opposite sides of the playoff and make it to the national championship game. You know how fucking insane that would be.
What are the ratings for that game if that happens?
I would think they'd be through the fucking roof.
Would they?
Probably not. Everyone would be like, "This is the dumbest shit."
Well, we're
I'd
sickos.
watch.
Yeah. No, I'm a
I watch
sicko.
Maction on Tuesdays, dude. I'll
Yeah.
watch forever.
Fuck yeah, Action's the best football.
Action, especially snowy Maction.
Yeah.
That's the best. Anyways, we're way off topic. Louisville wins. They have to at this point with Florida State. With
Is
them
this a
being on
must
their,
win? It's a must win for. Is that what you're calling it? A must win for Louisville?
I mean, it's my lock
That's your
outside of
lock.
Michigan. Michigan's obvious,
Yeah, I was gonna say Michigan's my lock.
but yeah, if I had to bet any money on any game and I wanted to win at least $1, I'm putting everything on Michigan. But I would think Louisville wins this game with Florida State being on the third string quarterback. But hey, Florida State's got a great pass rush. They've been getting after it. They've Jared Verse is a beast. Keon Coleman's a difference maker. Trey Benson's been running the ball well. They've proved they can do it. They beat Florida last week. It's not over until the clock hits 0. But I just don't
It's
see
just
it
being able
happening.
to pass down the field. They weren't able to do that against Florida. They couldn't
They
get the
weren't.
downfield passing. So,
They couldn't.
but I
With
mean,
their backup, their third string, they're definitely not.
we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
We've seen weirder things happen.
So just to recap, we're taking Oregon, we're taking Texas, Georgia, Michigan, and Louisville.
Pretty much the
Only
favorites.
one I'm like on is Georgia.
You said Oregon, right? You're taking Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Washington scored too. They're up 3-0.
Ah.
Good drive. Good drive. They took 7.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, I know. I kind of just want to keep watching this game.
I really do too. So we'll touch.